am pleased to announce that the next World Youth Day will take place in Sydney, Australia.
It's sensational. We're very pleased with the announcement and look forward to welcoming the World Youth to Sydney in 2008.
It's great, it's so good! Woo! It's going to be fantastic and Sydney is going to rock! Come on, come on!
Mate, it's awesome, mate. On every level, this is phenomenal. It's going to rejuvenate the church in Australia like we've never seen before, and it's phenomenal. I'm so excited, mate. Fantastic.
World Youth Day belongs to every Catholic in Australia. We will be privileged to host the youth of the world. The faith life of the Church in Australia has many expressions. From our big city centres to the small faith communities in the country, all will have a part to play in hosting World Youth Day.
The phenomenon of World Youth Day is one of the most important contributions that the late Pope John Paul II made to Catholic life. When elected to the papacy in 1978, one of his ambitions was to strengthen the practice of going on pilgrimage. He succeeded, and the World Youth Days are one example of that.
On behalf of the government and the people of Australia, I strongly support the Archdiocese of Sydney in its bid to host World Youth Day in 2008. Australia is a unique country with a diverse population and a very strong and active Catholic community.
Going to these events, you see it. You open your eyes and you realise you're part of something universal. It's something that unifies you with someone in every single country of the world. And for our country to be hosting that is like the most amazing thing ever.
World Youth Days is a journey, and a journey of opportunities. Opportunities to receive and to give.
For the past 20 years, the World Youth Days have become the largest international mobilisation of young people ever recorded in history. The World Youth Day is a Catholic gathering of youth from around the globe called every 3 years by the Holy Father, and everyone is welcome. As pilgrims, the young people travel across nations, over oceans and beyond cultural barriers to be with each other, to be with the Pope, and to be with God. The World Youth Days have enlivened the faith life in the host countries where they have been held. Host countries have reported an increase in vocations, reinvigorated youth ministries, and renewal of parish life.
They must become men of truth, of justice, of goodness, of forgiveness, of mercy.
The young people come together and are real lively, and just to know that, you know, I'm not alone.
I came here to achieve peace within myself and just to become a better person and to learn more and strengthen my faith. And I think I have, so it's done pretty well.
World Youth Day is about different peoples sharing together out of love for Jesus Christ. The World Youth Days have been held in many cities around the world, and the growing numbers of youth in attendance have been staggering.
John Paul II was there, and he was saying to this massive crowd of young people, you know, he was saying in his voice, you know, it is so hard to be a Christian these days. It's so hard for you to be a young person and a Catholic these days. And he said, but in his Polish accent, but you will do it. You will do it. And he repeated it.
In the midst of colossal crowds, the central message of the World Youth Days is not lost. Each and every person is invited to encounter Jesus Christ. Every person is important to God. Every person has a unique contribution to make. When Pope John Paul II died, the World Youth Days have been carried on under the patronage of Pope Benedict XVI of Germany, who brings to young people the gift of his brilliant intellect and deep spiritual sense.
Sotto la sua croce, cantando ad una voce.
The World Youth Days speak universally of joy, celebration, justice, peace, and a living, animated faith. Pope John Paul II entrusted to the young people of the world a large wooden cross that has become a focal point of the World Youth Day phenomenon. He said to them, "Carry this cross as a symbol of Christ's love for humanity." The World Youth Day cross has travelled around the globe, through countries and across continents, absorbing the prayers, touches and veneration of millions of young people. It has been carried along the highways, across the seas, atop the mountains and into the hearts of young people all over the world. Where young people gather, the cross has been present, in public squares, past civic monuments, to places of suffering and rejoicing. Young people have borne the cross and its message of reconciliation and hope. After the tragedy of September the 11th, young people carried the World Youth Day cross to Ground Zero in New York. Australia was entrusted with the World Youth Day cross in a moving ceremony on Palm Sunday 2006 in Rome. The young people of Germany, the last host country, handed over the cross to young Australians. Accompanying the cross is an icon of Our Lady, which will travel everywhere with the cross as a sign that Mary, the Mother of God, and our Mother, is always with her Son. She teaches us how to stay close to the cross. Every diocese in Australia will receive the World Youth Day cross and icon of Our Lady as they journey around the country for 12 months before the World Youth Day event. Local parishes, schools and families will have a special opportunity to come close to the cross.
The World Youth Day cross, which will travel all over Australia, I think is just the reason why we go to Sydney. I think the reason is Jesus, is what he did on Calvary for us. And the cross and the pilgrimage going through Australia is just the start of that journey, and or the start of my journey, of your journey. I believe if you hook up with events that happen around the World Youth Day cross, you start to do the journey.
As well as receiving the cross and icon, the same local parishes, schools and families all around the country will be invited to open their doors to the youth of the world. Welcome is extended to international pilgrims through the Days in the Diocese program, a local encounter of 4 days of cultural exchange in the context of faith. Visiting pilgrims en route to World Youth Day receive the hospitality of Australian dioceses outside of metropolitan Sydney.
The people in Germany were incredible. I stayed with a host family for about 4 days just outside of Cologne, and was just utterly overwhelmed by the kindness and the hospitality and the generosity.
The celebration of World Youth Day encompasses a week of activities to bring young people together. The week begins on the Tuesday with the opening Mass, when the church in Sydney and all the Australian people welcome the pilgrims. Each morning of the week, there is opportunity for catechesis in language groups with bishops from many nations. It is a forum to learn, to discuss and share about what it means to be a Christian disciple in the modern world. Teachings will be based around the theme for World Youth Day, which is, "You will receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you will be my witnesses."
I heard some great talks, particularly one that I still remember was on the Holy Spirit, because I didn't know a whole lot about the Holy Spirit.
In the afternoons, all are invited to participate in a youth festival, a colourful and energetic exchange of faith in various creative mediums.
Loving it, it's awesome.
At the heart of the World Youth Day experience is a prayerful encounter with Christ. Through the sacrament of reconciliation, time for quiet prayer, the inspiration of the saints and adoration of the Blessed Sacrament, young people have the opportunity to encounter the love, mercy and forgiveness of God.
Jesus, send your Spirit, Lord, as you promised us. We are asking you, pour out your fire on the earth. Jesus, my life is in your hands.
It was the first time I'd ever experienced confession and reconciliation in a way that was actually reconciling me to the Lord. I was no longer seeing it as an alleviation of my guilt, but as Him embracing me.
On the Thursday, the Holy Father will arrive and be welcomed by the young people of the world. A feature of the week is the reenactment of the Way of the Cross through the streets of the city. The week culminates on the eve of the final day, when pilgrims set out on a walking pilgrimage to the site of the night vigil for the Holy Father, the sleep out under the stars, and the closing celebration of the Mass the following day. World Youth Day is not just a week of events in July 2008. Rather, it is the focal point of a pastoral approach made up of 3 phases. Phase 1 is a period of logistical preparation, evangelization, catechesis and prayer with our young people, and extends to June 2008. Phase 2 is the World Youth Day week in July 2008, a pilgrimage of faith and an encounter with Jesus Christ, His Spirit and His Church. Phase 3 begins at the end of the final Mass with the Pope on July 20th, 2008 and extends for the next 20 years and beyond as we reap the fruits of World Youth Day in our mission to the future. The long-term effect of World Youth Day will be renewal of every aspect of the life of the Church throughout Australia.
I've now had the opportunity to be on 3 World Youth Day pilgrimages for our diocese. And each time I've been convinced that World Youth Day brings great benefits to our young people and to all the people they touch.
The World Youth Day Office, through the local diocesan contact and national consultative committees, is providing a range of resources for the pastoral preparation for all Australians. They are designed to activate the nation. The resources include parish support materials to help enrich our parishes, e-pilgrimage, an online resource for young participants, national speaking tours, youth leaders training course, materials for local celebrations, a way of prayer and the World Youth Day school curriculum. Get involved with any of these programs and play your part in World Youth Day 2008. More information will be available on the World Youth Day website. In this great southland of the Holy Spirit, the young people will come to receive the Spirit of God and to be witnesses of the good news of Jesus to the ends of the earth. When the crowds have dispersed and the Holy Father has gone, we will be left with a legacy that has touched other World Youth Day host nations. Faith renewal amongst the young, a reinvigorated vision for the future, and strengthening of the life of the Church in all its works and ministries. We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for our nation to receive anew the gift of God. World Youth Day will activate the faith life of our local communities from today onwards for the World Youth Day week and for the next 20 years.
We will be the focus of this church that is 2,000 years old, that has seen so many historical events, that has spread so much love and compassion everywhere, and it's going to be focused in Sydney, Australia, and you will not want to miss it.